Hello everyone, my name is Danielle and I am the HypnoBirthing instructor at Nature's Playhouse in downtown Ferndale and Health and Healing Chiropractic in downtown Rochester. And today I'm going to be talking about estimated due dates and the math behind it. I know not something that's very fun. I personally don't enjoy a whole lot of math, but when it comes to birth I kind of get behind it a little bit more. But I want to be talking about estimated due dates because we talk about that in HypnoBirthing when we are going for the natural unmedicated vaginal delivery, and we try and let our bodies go into labor on its own. So a lot of people will say, oh, when are you due? And we give a due date, June 14th. And the reason behind HypnoBirthing's choice to say, why take away the date, excuse me, take away the estimated due date and just say a birthing month or a birthing time. So instead, if your due date was June 14th, sometime in June, June 28th, end of June, beginning of July, somewhere around there, because it kind of alleviates some pressure off of mom and off of her emotions about when she delivers or when her body goes into labor. Gives ourselves a little bit more space when we go past that estimated time that the doctors are giving us, and it also gives us a little bit more peace if it happens before then. So the two thoughts is that if you have this due date and anything that happens before it, the baby's considered early. If you hear a baby is born early, that is usually kind of a scary thing to say. There's always a worry that maybe the baby might not be fully developed, might have trouble breathing on their own, they might have trouble with breastfeeding if you plan on doing that. They might just have some type of medical issue if they're born sometime before their due date, if you're going by that wording. Now, if they're born sometime after that, usually it's that due date, and any time after that, everyone gets anxious and excited. And I know I do it too. I was definitely guilty of this with my daughter. But anytime after that due date, we start going, it's late. We don't say it out loud, but they didn't arrive on that date. They haven't arrived yet. They're late. And in our society, it is a very bad thing to be late. Not to mention, this is like waiting for Christmas and the Super Bowl and Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day all shoved into one day. You're waiting for this person to arrive, but they're right here, and you don't know when it's going to happen because it can happen at a moment's notice. So anytime during that point, the baby's late, the baby's getting bigger, you're getting bigger, you're feeling more uncomfortable, and everyone's asking you, oh my gosh, you haven't had the baby yet. That's pretty much the most talked about thing around that space and time. So those can be really difficult points for women, and I think that's probably considered the most difficult point of pregnancy is the end. It's probably right around 36 weeks until they deliver, because you're waiting, and it can be an emotional roller coaster. So to get to the math part of our estimated due date, so the estimated window of gestation for our babies are between 265 days and 300 days. I'm just reading from my notes here. So 265 days is roughly 37 and a half weeks, 37 and like 6 days, and 300 days is 42 and a half weeks. That is the estimated length of gestation for humans. So we have a really big window there. There is a window of 35 days between those two. So you could birth at 266 days, or you can birth at 299 days, and you would still be within that healthy realm. So having those 35 days, if you divide the 35 days by 2, so you have the due date and you divide the 35 days, you'll have 17 and a half days on this end, 17 and a half days on this end. Yeah, so add 17.5 to 265. Okay, so yeah, so the earliest that is normal to go into delivery is the 265. So adding 17 and a half to that puts you at 282 days, and dividing that by 7 is 40.3 plus days, or 40 plus 3 weeks. So that's how they figure out when the baby should be delivered. 40.3 weeks. So 40 weeks and 3 days. So that's why they give you a due date of an exact date at 40 weeks, because it's somewhere roughly in the middle of the two ends of the spectrum of the gestation period for human beings. Okay, let's just find the middle and just guess from there. And then when it doesn't happen right in the middle of that, and it happens before that, I don't know if the baby's ready, I don't know if all this different stuff, and if it happens after, oh, the baby's late, baby's getting bigger, you know, your body is not working how it should, it's doing this, we need to monitor this and this and this. And that's not to say that those things aren't there for a reason, but it can be so stressful for moms and for dads. So keeping in mind that this is a rough estimate, that is an EDD, an estimated due date, and kind of giving ourselves some breathing room, going, hey, scientifically, I could deliver at 37.5 weeks. I could deliver at 42.5 weeks, and I'm still in that normal range. It's still very possible. And then add to that, not knowing exactly, you know, when you were ovulating versus when you conceived. There's a big window of play there. Not to mention your own genetics play a part into this, and that's where you'll land somewhere between the 265 and 300 days. My babies might take a little bit longer to cook than your babies. And that's what it kind of felt like at the time, because I got to 42.5 weeks. So I always want to bring this up in class, because I feel like as moms, when we get towards the end, we get this huge amount of stress. Like, people are asking us about it, people are talking to us about it. It's pretty much all anyone wants to talk to us about. That can be difficult too. But to keep in mind that, you know, even your doctor, even if you're going with a completely medical managed birth in a hospital, scientifically, you have plenty of time. You have a wide range of time. You have 35 days. 35 days of play in there. That's over a month. So just because your one friend delivered this time, you could deliver a whole month later, and it would still be in the normal range. So that is one of the main things that we talk about in hypnobirthing, and kind of giving ourselves and our bodies a little bit more space and a little bit more rest, so we can kind of stay a little bit more relaxed and less anxious and less nervous about when it's actually going to happen, and try and stay in that relaxed state so our bodies can go into labor a little bit more easier and naturally, if that is your birthing preference. So just a little bit of scientific hoo-ha to you, and a little bit of math thrown in. Sorry for boring you, but these are one of the things that I think is really cool. If you would like more information about our classes, you can find it here on our Facebook page. You can find it on our website, motorcitybirthservices.com. And we hope to see you in class. But until then, let those babies grow. Give them some time. Rest and relax, mamas. Thanks, and have a great day.